I'm back, y'all, with Pluto in the 9th house, Synastry. It's funny because like I recorded this video already and on my laptop that I had, and it did not save, it did not record. So yeah, and it was so good too, and I hate it. Like when anyways, Pluto in the 9th house, Synastry. Here we have people, two individuals joining together based off of experience, based off of beliefs, philosophy, and the motivation to change. So sometimes you can get this, it could be a generational gap between each other, or maybe a slightly different lifestyle, but the experiences could drive them to be together. Now with Pluto, let's say Pluto, what I'm trying to say is Pluto could be drawn to the 9th house person without having no shared experience, but because the 9th house person is being raw and living a life that it lives with no excuses, you know, because Pluto could seek to see the realness and the rawness within someone. And depending on where they catch 9th house at, in their, along their experience, 9th house most of the time is just experiencing, okay? There's a flip side to this when the 9th house gets preachy, but we're just talking about the experiences right now. And Pluto could just be like drawn or fascinated to just the 9th house's ability to, you know, live and learn without a bunch of judgment, you know. So this could initially bring them together. Yeah, they can meet each other or become drawn together or interested in each other. Like maybe initially they're not, but let's say they're somewhere or they're around something or into something that brought them together. Like for instance, they're at a Bitcoin convention on how to raise money, or an Alcoholic Anonymous meeting because they're trying to get off drugs or alcohol or stabilize themselves. Let's say they're at some sort of church function, at a college or university, something that's putting them in each other's orbit due to their experiences or something that they're learning. Now these two, if there's not an age distance there and they catch each other, let's say younger, when, you know, let's say initiating life or starting off, they could be not good for each other. And this is even if they meet each other, just randomly meet each other at these points in their life to where they're not really trying to make any changes, or they're upon a change needing to be initiated between one or the other. Like especially the 9th house. If the 9th house really is in their spiritual repertoire wanting change or needing it, and it needs to be initiated, the Pluto person is definitely going to do that. But the reason why they could not be good for each other is because they could have certain indulgences, like I said, drugs, alcohol, and kind of like wallow or stew in the position that they're in, and they could make excuses for each other. You know, just like, or even if it's not an excuse, they could just simply be like, okay, I'm just living my life. Therefore, the experiences that they have could be rather secretive too. Other people may not even know that they're doing this. They may not know that they're sneaking and meeting up and getting busy, or that they could be each other's partners in crime. Point blank, period. They could be each other's partners in crime and really get into some pretty interesting, deep experiences with each other that other people don't like involvements that other people don't know about. You know, they find out about it on the other end. Now, let's say that ninth house is doing pretty good for themselves, but they end up coming across the Pluto person, and the Pluto person is wanting them to indulge into that part of themselves where they, they let down their boundaries and they just want to experience life. They want to have fun, or they just want to do what they do without no qualms. Like, I just want to do what I do. That could trigger, Pluto being in the ninth house can trigger the ninth house person to just start doing things that they would not normally do, whether good or bad. Bad, getting hooked on things, becoming addicted sexually. Together they can have all kind of experience sexually. That's like it could be experiences that they don't even need to have, because like I said, Pluto, or I didn't say this, but Pluto can be abusive as well. Let's not act like it can't, but yes it can. Let's go on the good side. Pluto can trigger the ninth house person too, to make changes for the better, because Pluto, and especially like if Pluto comes along after the ninth house has had certain experiences that they don't want to have again, they could remind the ninth house person of why they should put up their boundaries, or why they should do better, why they chose a different life or path in the first place. But Pluto can come and hit the ninth house, and then the ninth house could want to change for the better, or help the ninth house change for the better. Because Pluto could come in and be like, listen, you can't be, like, you got to finish college, like, or don't, like, you see your potential, or you need to become more religious, or you need to become more spiritual. Here's the occult information. Here's the religious text. This is interesting too, because the attraction or relationship between the two can come about through through church, like a pastor, church person, teacher, student, counselor, client, mentor, mentee. See what I'm saying? Because something could be taboo about the interaction, and they could get together. Somebody might have to quit their job, or change jobs, or get fired, or something like that. Something comes through with them to where it makes a change. Usually I would see the Pluto individual as the one that's bringing the mentor, mentee, counselor type thing, energy, to be like, okay, well, you need to do this, or you need to do that, because Pluto's going to try to control certain environments that it's in. But I can also see the ninth house person being this to the Pluto person too. The ninth house person bringing this energy to the Pluto person too, because the Pluto person could be just operating, and depending on when they meet the ninth house person, the ninth house person could be somebody that emotionally manipulates Pluto person, or tries to get their way because they feel like they know more, or in this teacher role too. But they're gonna be more or less like the preachy ones, the ones that's like, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing that, which this may irk Pluto's nerves, because Pluto doesn't want to be controlled. Like, Pluto wants to operate. It can control it. It can be controlling in a power type way. You see what I'm saying? In a power type way, not necessarily like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, because I want to control you. But it's like, well, if I have my power and my dominance, I shouldn't have to tell you this or that. You should want to submit to my authority or what I'm doing, because let's just face it, I do what I do like no other. But Pluto don't like this is where their synastry is kind of off, or it can go wrong. Pluto don't want not to be preached at. No. Pluto does not want to be preached at, or to be told like, okay, you're right or wrong necessarily, in certain instances in their life and within their experience. They're gonna feel like the ninth house person is withheld, like they're almost bound or trapped sometimes by their experiences, or by what they learn, their sophistication, their philosophy, their religion. They're like, oh, well, the 10 Commandments say you can't, share your body with me because it'll break the commandment until you're married and until we're married or whatever. Pluto could be like, why? What? Ain't nobody gotta know about this. You want it, I want it. That type of thing. So they both can get together. When they get together, it's going to initiate this change. They can meet each other from traveling, philosophy, education, spirituality, certain organizations, groupings, or whatever, different cultures. There's going to be something about them that could be different in their experience, or culturally different. I mean, or the same culturally or something like that, or culturally different, but the same experience, age different. It could be something taboo even, you know, to where they gotta weigh right and wrong, their morality versus immorality. But there's changes that comes to their experience when they meet each other, and they can change for the better though. Like they can change with each other. Especially, I think it's better though when they come together after certain experiences that they had in life, because they usually both come ready, knowing certain things and understanding each other better. It depends on what sign is here too, but it can be very explosive. You know, there could, because of the attraction is there. It could be off and on, up and down, on a roller coaster with the Synastry, because really their experiences is bringing them together. Let's say you just on a vacation or a trip, and then you go to some spiritual retreat, and then you meet each other, but you got to go back home to real life. It's that type of thing. Something, and then to be together, you have to quit your job or move or live where you're at. Something has to be kind of like destroyed and something else ushered in. It could be even a behavior or a belief system. I wouldn't look at it the most romantic. Sexual, yes. You know. But this has been Pluto in the 9th house Synastry. I'm your girl, Butterfly to Light. I will be back.